Yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You're all welcome to this beautiful day. I've got a guest with me, by the name Folake Adekola. You're welcome.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Yes, and you, as you're aware, this is a music school, and we're here to learn one or two things. So from time to time, I bring in people. I've got a few experiences that they would like to share with us. So today, my guest. Now, how did you get into singing?
I come from a family of musicians, I would say. So my dad can play the musical instruments. My uncle, late Tosin Bangboshe, and I was just born into the family of singing. And I remember family meetings, we just sing. And that's how I got into singing.
Now, can you remember what age you started singing, or?
I think my earliest memories would be around age 7, still in about primary school, I would say. Wow. Yeah, so many years ago.
Then did you join the choir at all?
I did. So when I was a teenager, I officially joined the choir. So when I was about 14, 15, I joined the choir at my church then in Ibadan. I did.
What kind of church was that?
Pentecostal church.
Okay.
In Ibadan.
Then were you singing any parts then?
Yes, so I remember when you join the choir, they would do like a check for you to find out your range, and I was put into alto. Yes, so I was an alto singer.
Now, and as we are all aware, I mean, fundamentally, altos do not sing the melody. Was that comfortable for you because you have to sing something that is supporting the melody? Was that a comfortable thing for you to do?
I think after a few years, you kind of get into the hang of, okay, that's not my part, and singing a different way. But yes, it seemed okay. I could cope with that. Yes.
So you never at any point in time had to sing the melody. You were always singing the parts.
I had to. So some songs, depending on the style of song, sometimes the altos will hold the melody, so to speak, and then the sopranos will do other things. So sometimes I do learn the melody, and of course, I think it's good practice. Well, in my choir, we all would usually learn the melody of the song, so yes. Okay. And then we learn our parts, yes.
Okay. How was singing alto? How was it? Was the experience quite nice?
Oh yes, because of you kind of start to learn how you tend to sing, yes, and I enjoyed singing in harmony actually, yes.
Now, if you have your way, if you have to turn back time, would you prefer to be a soprano or an alto?
I still like my alto. I think the richness, the warmth of the texture of the voice, I just like it.
Okay, because I've had some few experiences I've had. Some people do say, soprano is better than the alto, so they always envy us of soprano. I don't know why, but I don't think any. Do you think any part is superior?
No. It's a bit like fingers, isn't it? Everybody we play different parts. So I think that I understand that sopranos tend to be more versatile. We think, but I think every part we do different things. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Now I know you lead praise and worship, and you do it very well.
Oh yeah.
Now, how did you get into leading praise and worship?
I think that was by accident. I remember, brother, I used to sing in the church and just very comfortable with backing up. That was what I did and enjoyed it for many years. And I remember going to choir practice one day, and the choir leader did not turn up. I think she was stuck somewhere. And I remember my pastor saying, well, Stafford, I was like, me? No, I can't. And I just panicked. And she sat with me, we came up with our song set, and she said, just do this. And it was just amazing. I got there, and Brandon, you know me, I get really anxious before I go on stage. And it's like something just takes over once I'm there, and I just went into it. And from then on, I haven't stopped leading worship.
Now, what are the musical things that you have to do to improve yourself as a singer?
I think as a singer and as a worship leader, I think one of the things we did even as a church was we invested in training. I remember you coming to train my choir then to help us with planning the songs, selecting the songs, thinking about your own vocal range. I have also paid for some training so that I can improve, almost sharpening the skills that you have. So yes, so I've had to spend time doing that.
Okay. What are the challenges along the way musically that you have to overcome?
I think for me, sometimes I get into this habit of maybe laziness, I would say, where you get into a range where you're comfortable with, and going out of that zone is something I've had to overcome. Sometimes you like singing a particular style, and then you have to come out of that, because it's not every time you can sing a particular style, depending on the audience. So that's been the challenge sometimes, coming out of what's comfortable for me.
Okay. Now, in your musical experiences, what kind of musicians or singers do you think may have influenced you as you improve?
You know, I'm quite a bit old school, so I still like my Shirley Caesar. I still like Kim Burrell. I like Miranda Curtis, those kind of, I don't want to say soulful, but people who sing with a lot of depth and a lot of expression. That's how I like to minister.
Now, if I listen to you, what do you think you're going to sound like? Or if your audience have to listen to you, what should they expect?
You know, that's a very difficult question to answer, Brandon. I don't know who I sound like. I suppose like me, I don't know. That's quite difficult for me. But I know when I do some vocals, somebody say, you remind me of this. Sometimes I hear Shirley Caesar, sometimes, I think, but it's really difficult for me to.
Now, if you're asked, how do you get to, if you have to sing, how do you sort out your key range? You know, do you play the keyboard at all?
No, I don't, unfortunately, no.
So how do you work out your lists when you have to sing? What
I tend to do, my daughter has an app on her phone, which is really interesting.
Before the app?
So before the app, I think until I get into the person I'm singing, my person playing the keys, my musicians, I would practice in my head what I'm singing, and then that's what I try to do. Sometimes I record if I can, if I have a recording device, so that I know this is the key I'm going to try and sing in.
So, when you do that, how often do you pass? When you do that personally, do you eventually come out, when you eventually meet your keyboardist, do you eventually say, yeah, what I worked out worked, or what I was planning in my head worked out?
It usually does, because I think sometimes when I go somewhere, I'll ask, what key was that on? And then I think I start to notice I tend to sing maybe on a C, depending on the song, or on that song, maybe I do on an A. And so when I get there, I'll say, please, you know, if it's somebody I'm comfortable with, I'll say, can we start with a C? If it's not somebody I'm comfortable with, I'll just sing. Because I don't, I don't want to appear like I know what I don't know, so I'll just start singing. And I know sometimes you say to me, just sing, and then you'll find me. So I do that. So
if eventually you go somewhere to sing and you discover that the key isn't right, are you able to notice, how do you notice that key isn't working for you?
What I try to do is I would try and choose the highest point of that song in my head before I actually start singing. And sometimes before I start singing, somebody's playing something, I would hum and do some free thing. And you can't signal to whoever is playing to come down or go higher. I think when I first started singing, I felt pressure to just jump in straight away. I think now you just kind of allow it to just simmer a little bit, and then when you feel comfortable, you start. And you can just make eye contact, say, take it up a little bit, and then I'll start.
Okay. And have you had any bad moments on stage when you had to mess up on the stage?
Oh, yes.
Can you recount?
I think I wanted to sing a particular song that was in my head, but it was not going on the key, and I kind of stopped the song and then changed the key, and you think, oh gosh.
Did you change the rhythm as well?
As well, everything changed, and I because I really like the song, but I'm not sure that's what God wanted me to do, because I think there was a cut of everybody just like, what?
Did you recover from that experience on the stage?
I think I made it work at that point, but I think afterwards, I couldn't wait to leave the building. One of those sessions where like, God.
How about your good moments on stage? What are the right things that you did?
I think a lot of times is, again, rehearsal. You cannot over practice, I think. Sometimes, preparing, make sure I'm prepared, and then going and communicating with my musicians, and also carrying my backup singers along, because people don't know what you want to do unless they know where you're going. And those are some of my happiest moments when I carry the team, we're all going together, people are just worshiping, and it's seamless. Yes.
Between fast and slow songs, which one would you prefer? I don't want to say praise and worship, but fast tempo and slow tempo. Which one would you prefer?
I think I feel quite comfortable leading a lot of fast songs, or sometimes mid-tempo, yes.
Okay. Now, if you have to sing, if I ask you to sing, what usually comes to your mind? That will usually come to your mind.
What do you mean?
In terms of, do you want to start slow, or do you want to start fast, or do you want to?
I tend to try and sense what is happening where we are. So it depends where we are. If I feel like the mood has dropped and we want to lift it up a little bit, I might start a little bit fast. But I tend not to go in just starting harshly, let's go clapping. I might do a warm-up or a slow call to worship, shall I say. And then we then go in and build up, and then I go into it. Okay. So that's what I try to do, or tend to do.
Now, if you're asked to sing somewhere, what comes to your mind in your planning?
I think about where I'm singing, what is the occasion, what is happening. So if it's a naming ceremony, it's a birthday, that's what I would think about. And then I trust God to minister what songs are to minister at that place. Yes.
Talking about that, do you sometimes, when you're not singing, do you sometimes make lists when you don't have any events? Do you find yourself making lists?
I do. Because I have a long commute to work. I do a lot of worship sessions in the car, and sometimes we just are like, oh yeah, I need to write that down. And because as someone who's a minister, or this is your call, you might just get somewhere, you're not even on the program. They say, so you're here, please, especially in our community, come and lead this session. And you don't want to start saying, I'm not prepared. So you tend to have songs that maybe I would tend to do together, and I would just be ready to say, okay, I'm ready, we can do it.
Okay. How often do you find yourself in such situations when you have to bump on you to sing?
I find quite a lot. It does happen when I go into circles where people know I sing, and I get there, the pastor will recognize me and say, Tafala, come and help us do this. And I think when I was younger, I would tend to say, no, I'm not ready, or I would kind of just get a bit angry, like I'm not prepared. If you know me, I like to be prepared, but now I kind of just understand. If something's in your office, if I know somebody's a pastor and they're there, they're counting as honor, like we're giving you honor, come and do this for us. So I tend not to refuse, I would just come and do my thing. And I have a few songs that I might tend to do, but I would do it.
Now, how do you cope with family life and singing? How well do you cope with that?
I think it's really, really important that we think about the person that we're in the journey with. So my husband's very supportive, and I try to have balance with these kind of things. I have days where, like, I call them my mommy days. So typically my Monday is my mommy day, and that day I try not to have engagements on Mondays so that that's my family day. And so I try to just try and put balance with it just by having different days for different activities.
Talking about that, do you disturb them in the house? Do you practice? How much do you disturb them in the house? Do you practice?
Lots of it. Lots of disturbances. Because when I started being intentional with training, when I do my vocal training, on those days it's a lot of singing. I do warm-ups mostly in the mornings or in the evening, and I'm doing a lot of singing. And sometimes my son will say, Mom, you're showing off now, if I'm trying to do certain things. But yes, there's a lot of singing in the house. Yeah.
Now, I know if you have to rewrite your life, would you still like to be a singer?
I would.
That's
I would, because I think it's more than just singing. It's a call. Yes, I would. To bring sound to God, music in His ears. Yes, I would. Absolutely.
Are there, what kind of, as a singer of the church, what are your goals now? Or what would you desire to achieve as a singer?
I'm hoping to do a recording soon. I might do one in Yoruba, just some of the songs that have ministered to me over the years, they're in common domain, but I'd like to maybe bless people with that. So that's something I have as a goal. But my utmost desire is that when I open my mouth, that heaven opens and people connect to God. And that's always my desire when I go to lead worship anywhere else.
Now, taking you back, a few questions back. Now, you said something that you like fast music. Do you like the Western fast or the African? Which one, if you have to make a choice?
I do both actually, and I enjoy it, but I think I don't really like funk, so to speak, so maybe African more. I think funk is a bit like, I think I like more my African high lifestyle.
Okay, good. Of all the musical instruments, which one do you like the most? That gives you comfort whenever you sing it?
I like the keys, and I also like the guitar, if I could choose two.
Okay. If there are no keyboards, would you sing?
I would.
How will you get to organize yourself to sing without the keyboard?
It would be tricky, I think. But I think it depends. I still went somewhere recently and we were singing, we were clapping our hands and just holding the notes. And I believe we could do it. It's tough, but it's doable.
I think in such situations, that's where your training comes in. When you have to find the uppermost range of a song that works well with your voice.
With your voice, yeah.
So you're able to, from there, you can be able to navigate the rest. Okay, thank you so much. It's an honor having you here on set.
Thank you, pleasure.
I've tried to get you for a long time, but I guess you've been so busy. So that's my guest for you, Folake Adekola. And thank you so much for being here. Yeah. So watch out for the sports. I'm going to put on the sports to do something which I expect that she's going to pass the test.
Be nice.
I will. So if this is your first time of watching this video, I'd like you to subscribe to this channel. I want to read your comments, like this video, and most especially share it. Till we come your way next time, I want to say bye for now.
Bye. Thank you all. God bless. Bye. Bye.